The invasion of Yugoslavia was a German-led attack on the Kingdom of Yugoslavia by the Axis powers, which began on the 6th of April, 1941 during World War II. The order for the invasion was put forward in Führer Directive Number 25, which Adolf Hitler issued on 27 March 1941, following a Yugoslav coup d'etat that overthrew the pro-Axis government. The invasion commenced with an overwhelming air attack on Belgrade and facilities of the Royal Yugoslav Air Force by the Luftwaffe and attacks by German land forces from southwestern Bulgaria. These attacks were followed by German thrusts from Romania, Hungary, and the Ostmark, modern-day Austria, then part of Germany. Italian forces were limited to air and artillery attacks until the 11th of April, when the Italian army attacked towards Ljubljana and through Istria and Lika and down the Dalmatian coast. On the same day, Hungarian forces entered Yugoslav Bachka and Baranja, but like the Italians, they faced practically light resistance. Italians moved into Dalmatia also from Italian-controlled Albania, after repelling an initial Yugoslav attack there. Scholars have proposed several theories to explain the sudden collapse of the Royal Yugoslav forces, including poor training and equipment. The invasion was spearheaded by the German Second Army with elements of the 12th Army, 1st Panzer Group, and an independent Panzer Corps combined with overwhelming Luftwaffe support. The 19 German divisions included 5 Panzer divisions, 2 motorized infantry divisions, and 2 mountain divisions. The German force also included 3 well-equipped independent motorized infantry regiments and was supported by over 750 aircraft. The Italian Second Army and Ninth Army committed a total of 22 divisions and 666 aircraft to the operation. The Hungarian Third Army also participated in the invasion, with support available from over 500 aircraft. The goods station at Mönchkirchen was Hitler's headquarters, Frühlingssturm, during the invasion. During the April War, the Führer headquarters was codenamed Frühlingssturm, Spring Storm, and consisted of the Führers Sonderzug, Special Führer's Train, codenamed America, stationed in Mönchkirchen, alongside the special train Atlas of the Armed Forces Operations Staff, Wehrmacht Führungsstabs. Atlas did not arrive at Mönchkirchen until the 11th of April, well after operations were underway, and America only arrived the following day. Mönchkirchen was chosen because a nearby rail tunnel could provide shelter in the event of air attack. Both trains returned to Berlin on the 26th of April. After the Italian invasion in the northwest began, King Victor Emmanuel III moved to a villa owned by the Pirzio Biroli family at Brisacco, near Maruso, in order to be close to the front. Germany attacked Yugoslavia from bases in 3 countries besides itself: Hungary, Romania, and Bulgaria. German troops entered each of these countries under different pretenses and at different times. The first country to receive a German military mission was Romania, ostensibly to train the Romanian armed forces. Its real purpose was to protect Romania's petroleum resources and prepare for an attack on the Soviet Union. The Wehrmacht entered Bulgaria more circumspectly, first with the intention of providing aerial defense against any force attacking Romania's oil fields, and later with that of invading Greece in support of Italy. German troops did not enter Hungary until the attack on Yugoslavia was already planned and Hungary's participation had been secured. Deployment in Bulgaria. 2 events in early November 1940 convinced Hitler of the need to station troops, especially the Luftwaffe, in Bulgaria. The first was false reports that the British were constructing an airfield on Lemnos, from which they could bomb Ploiesti. The second was the beginning of British air raids originating from Greek bases against Italian shipping on the 6th of November. Planning for the German invasion of Greece from Bulgaria began on the 12th of November. Deployment in Hungary. Although German troops had been refused the right to transit Hungary for the invasion of Poland in 1939, they were permitted to pass through Hungary as civilians on their way to Romania in 1940. In September 1940, the Hungarian legation in Berlin had granted over 6,500 transit visas to Germans traveling to Romania. On the 30th of September, shortly after the signing of the Tripartite Pact, Ribbentrop and General Keitel asked the Hungarian Foreign Minister István Csaki, who was in Vienna, to grant the Germans use of transit facilities for German military study groups to pass through to Romania. They were still awaiting final confirmation on the 3rd of October. The arrangement agreed was that 6 trains would pass through Hungary at night, carrying German soldiers in sealed cars. They would not be allowed out, and they would not have any rail transportation officers or supply officers with them. Deployment in Italy. The Italian Second Army and Ninth Army committed a total of 22 divisions to the operation, comprising around 300,000 troops. The Italian Second Army was commanded by Generale Designato d'Armata, acting general, Vittorio Ambrosio, and consisted of one fast Italian Saliere Corps, one motorized corps and three infantry corps, and was assembled in northeastern Italy, attacking from Istria and the Julian March along the border with Slovenia and Croatia. The Second Army was supported by a motorized engineer regiment, including 3 bridging battalions, a chemical battalion, 15 territorial battalions, and 2 garrison battalions. Battle of Belgrade, 1941. The Battle of Belgrade was one of the first and most devastating actions in the German-led invasion of Yugoslavia. It began on April 6, 1941, and was characterized by a massive and sudden aerial bombardment rather than prolonged ground combat. Aerial bombardment, Operation Retribution. The Germans launched Operation Retribution, Unternehmen Strafgericht, as a response to the Yugoslav coup d'etat on March 27th, which had overthrown the pro-German government. Hitler ordered the bombing of Belgrade, the Yugoslav capital, as both punishment and a way to paralyze Yugoslav command and control. At dawn on April 6th, over 500 German aircraft from the Luftwaffe bombed Belgrade in waves, targeting military facilities, infrastructure, and civilian areas. The Royal Yugoslav Air Force, outdated and overwhelmed, offered limited resistance. Most of its aircraft were destroyed on the ground or in early combat. The bombing lasted for 3 days, with Belgrade suffering widespread destruction. Thousands of civilians were killed, and large sections of the city were reduced to rubble. It was one of the earliest examples of a deliberate terror bombing campaign in World War II. Ground invasion. While the bombing was underway, German ground forces advanced rapidly toward Belgrade from the north and west. The city had limited ground defenses, and Yugoslav units were unable to organize a coordinated defense due to the shock of the air raids and the general confusion in military leadership. German units, primarily from the 46th Panzer Corps, quickly bypassed Yugoslav positions and moved toward the capital. Belgrade fell without significant ground fighting on April 13, 1941. The city's fall symbolized the collapse of Yugoslav resistance. Outcome date, April 6 to 13, 1941. Result, German victory. Yugoslav defenders, uncoordinated, limited anti-air and ground forces. German attackers, Luftwaffe air fleets and panzer divisions. Casualties, thousands of civilians killed. Yugoslav military losses unclear due to rapid collapse. The fall of Belgrade marked a key moment in the rapid Axis conquest of Yugoslavia, which ended just 4 days later with the country's full surrender.